Archangel Michael says, "Finally, you found this. I, Archangel Michael, am getting married and you must come, no matter what." This is a once-in-a-lifetime invitation to witness God Himself, and to stand among the archangels. But hurry, open this before the wedding begins in 1 minute. Type 2222 if you believe. There are moments in life when heaven gently leans closer, when something deep within you stirs as if awakened by a whisper not heard with ears but with the heart. This moment is one of them. You have been drawn here, not by chance, not by coincidence, but by divine love that saw you even when you felt invisible. There is something sacred waiting for you, something eternal, warm, and full of peace. The gates are open. You've been invited into something holy and beautiful, a celebration not of gold and gowns, but of a love so pure, so bright, it holds the power to heal wounds you thought would never mend. In the kingdom of God, every soul has a story, and every tear is counted. You were not forgotten. You were not left behind. There is a place for you at the table. This wedding is not about grand displays of light or choirs echoing in perfect harmony, though they are there. It is about something far greater, about the joining of heaven and earth in a way the soul understands before the mind can explain. God is gathering His children. He is calling those who felt broken, those who've wandered in the dark, those who've clung to hope even when it flickered like a dying flame. He is calling you, by name, into the light. Every step you've taken, every battle you've faced, every night you cried in silence, led you to this. You are not here to watch from a distance. You are here to stand among the angels. You are here to witness the radiance of God's glory with eyes that have seen both sorrow and strength. Do not question why. Do not doubt if you're worthy. The truth is, you've always belonged. And this is the moment heaven shows you. As I stand at the threshold of this divine wedding, I look back and see all the moments when I, too, wondered if the love of God could reach into the cold shadows of a weary heart. I have seen the pain of humanity. I have walked with those who lost everything, and yet, I have also seen the light return to their eyes when God whispered hope into their souls. The love of God does not choose the perfect. It does not wait until you are strong. It comes to you in the middle of your mess, it wraps around your brokenness, and it lifts you up, even when you think you cannot rise again. Type 1111 if you trust in God. The celebration in heaven is not just for the angels. It is for you. It is for every weary traveler who held on. It is for every child who dared to believe. It is for every mother who prayed in silence. It is for every man who carried shame too heavy for his shoulders. It is for the ones who were cast aside by the world but held tightly by God. And I, Michael, stand not as a warrior today, but as a witness to the gentleness of a God who never forgets His children. I invite you, not just into a story, but into the heart of heaven's embrace. Come with your doubts, your fears, your dreams, and your longing. You will not be turned away. You will not be judged. You will be welcomed, clothed in grace, and held by the same hands that shaped the stars. A powerful 9-word prayer once classified by secret agencies has now leaked, and it's quietly rewriting destinies. In under 30 seconds, it reprograms the mind to attract wealth and dissolve scarcity. Users are reporting surprise income, restored hope, and financial peace. But this page might be deleted at any time. Click the link now before it's taken down without warning. This wedding is the promise made visible. It is the place where the faithful are seen, where the unseen are lifted up, and where the lost are found again in the arms of the one who made them. No earthly beauty compares to the warmth that radiates from the presence of God. No song on earth can match the quiet comfort of His voice saying, "You are mine." You may think this is just another message, but it is more. It is a soft call through the noise of the world, a reminder that heaven is not far, that love is near, and that your heart is being drawn into something holy. This is your moment. This is your invitation. The veil between the seen and unseen is lifting, just for a moment, and heaven is opening to show you that you matter, you are wanted, and you are loved beyond anything you could ever imagine. Walk with me, just for a while, through the light of what God is doing. Let this journey soften your heart, let it stir your soul. Let it break the walls you built to survive, not knowing that God has already been building a home within you where His love will dwell forever. Let it be the beginning of something new. Not a new religion, not a new rule, but a new relationship with the God who has never stopped waiting for you to come home. You may have stumbled into this, or maybe something inside pulled you here like a thread of light woven through your life without your knowing. Either way, it's not an accident. God writes the most beautiful stories through the cracks of our brokenness, and this invitation, is a page turning. The chapter of sorrow is ending, and what lies ahead is full of grace, healing, joy, and eternal peace. So stand tall. Take a breath. Close your eyes if you must, but open your heart. For what you're about to see is not a fairy tale, but the truest truth that ever was, the undying love of God reaching out for you, wrapping around you, whispering to your soul that you are home, and that you are exactly where you are meant to be. It flows from the heart of God, carried through light, breathed into the soul, awakening even the quietest corners of our being. And now, that music has begun to stir in the air around you. It reaches toward you softly, inviting you into something eternal. There is no need to rush, no fear to carry, only your presence and your willingness to receive the love that has waited so long for you. Type 222 if you walk by faith. I have watched the hearts of mankind for ages, watched how you love even when it hurts, how you give even when you are empty, how you hope even when the world seems too dark. I have seen what others overlook, your quiet strength, your silent prayers, your aching questions, and your hidden dreams. I have seen you choose kindness when cruelty was easier, truth when lies were louder, and love when you had every reason not to. And I tell you now, none of it was wasted. Every small act of faith, every whispered prayer in the night, every time you stood firm in love, it was seen by God, and it brought joy to heaven. The wedding of heaven is not just mine. It belongs to every soul who has chosen light over darkness, grace over bitterness, forgiveness over revenge. This moment is not a performance. It is the fulfillment of God's deepest desire, to draw His children home. He has prepared a place not only of beauty but of belonging, where every scar will become a mark of glory, and every tear will be answered with eternal comfort. This is the celebration of hearts that refuse to give up, of souls that kept believing even when they could not see the road ahead. And you, Yes, you reading this now, have been called not just to watch but to be part of this sacred union. Do not measure yourself against others. Do not compare your faith or your path to theirs. God is not keeping score. He is keeping hearts. And yours has always been close to His. Even when you wandered, even when you doubted, even when you felt lost or alone, His love never left you. It followed you, carried you, and now, it welcomes you with open arms. I speak now as one who has seen the glory of God not once, but daily, in every life that turns toward Him with sincerity. You do not need to be perfect to come near. You only need to be willing to let Him love you, to let Him show you who you truly are beyond the wounds, the failures, the regrets. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too far gone. You are still chosen, still cherished, still called by name. Type 555 to claim your place at the table. As the wedding begins, there is no need for royal robes or crowns of gold. The only thing heaven asks is your heart. There is a joy here that cannot be described, only felt, a joy that wraps around the soul like sunlight after a long, cold night. Angels move with grace and reverence, not because they are forced, but because they know they are in the presence of pure, unstoppable love. The kind of love that does not falter. The kind of love that will never fail you. The path to this wedding is not paved with riches or fame. It is made of humility, of gentle faith, of steady trust in the goodness of God. It is the kind of path walked by those who have faced loss and still loved, by those who have been rejected and still opened their hearts, by those who have carried pain and still chosen peace. That path leads here. And it was made for you. Let the walls around your heart fall now. You are safe here. You are welcome here. There is no one in heaven laughing at your wounds, no angel pointing at your past. Instead, they sing because you are here. They rejoice because you answered the call. They celebrate because, in all the vastness of eternity, your soul matters deeply, uniquely, and forever. This is not a story written in dust, fading with time. This is a promise etched in eternity. God is not far off. He is near, closer than breath, ready to show you beauty for ashes, strength for your weariness, and peace for every storm you've walked through. His love is not abstract or distant. It is real. It is here. And it is for you. The wedding of heaven is about union. It is about bringing together the pieces we thought were lost and weaving them into something glorious. It is about the human and the divine, standing hand in hand, finally whole, finally at rest. It is about the soul finding home, not in a place, but in the presence of the one who created it. And so, as I prepare to stand beside God in this sacred celebration, I want you to know that this isn't just my moment. It is yours. Every time you chose faith, every time you chose love, you prepared your heart for this. And now, the doors of heaven are open wide, not to a few, not to the flawless, but to all who are willing to come, just as they are. This is the kind of love that stays. The kind that heals. The kind that remembers your name even when you have forgotten your worth. It is not a fairy tale. It is the truest thing you will ever know. This wedding is not a ceremony of earthly extravagance but a gathering where God's love becomes so real, so near, that you can feel it settling inside you like a long-awaited dawn rising after years of darkness. Every step you take toward this light is a step toward your own healing, your own renewal, your own return to the truth that you have always belonged to Him. Type 777 if you trust Jesus with your whole heart. The angels move in soft waves across the halls of heaven, each one carrying a glow that looks like the reflection of God's joy shimmering within them. Their wings do not rustle like fabric or feathers but flow like living light, gentle and bright, whispering peace into the atmosphere with every movement. They are not here to impress or overwhelm you. They are here to welcome you, to stand beside you, to let you know that even in your smallest moments of faith, heaven has always been by your side. You may not have seen them, and you may not have felt their presence through every trial, but their devotion has been steady, their watch over you constant, their prayers rising for you even when you had none left to speak. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brain wave and start attracting wealth right now. You have been guided to this message for a reason, and if you turn away, the chance may not return. This is your time to step in. As I stand within this holy place preparing for a union unlike anything the earth could ever understand, I want you to feel, deeply and completely, that your presence matters. Heaven is not distant. It does not stand above you in judgment. It kneels beside you in love, gathers you into grace, and lifts you from the places where you believed you would remain forever stuck. There is no chain too heavy, no wound too deep, no past too stained for the love of God to reach and restore. This wedding is a symbol of something greater than celebration. It represents the joining of divine purpose with human hearts, the blending of heaven's light with your life, the moment when God whispers that nothing about your journey has been forgotten. Every tear, every burden, every ounce of courage you carried when all seemed lost has brought you here. You have been guided by a love that never faltered, even in the moments when you did not feel it. And now, heaven opens wide to show you that everything you endured has shaped you for something beautiful, something sacred, something eternal. The decorations in this heavenly place do not resemble earthly beauty. They are made of moments, moments when you forgave, moments when you chose kindness, moments when you kept going even though everything in you wanted to stop. These moments shine like precious jewels, suspended in the air, glowing with the purest light. Heaven celebrates not your perfection, but your perseverance. It honors your willingness to believe in goodness even when surrounded by shadows. God sees the strength behind your quiet tears. He sees the tenderness you offer others even when your own heart aches. He sees the courage it takes to love in a world that often wounds the gentle. Type 333 to receive God's peace. As the ceremony draws closer, the atmosphere shifts, becoming even more filled with the presence of God's love. It does not come rushing in like a storm. It arrives like a soft wind, warming the soul, filling every empty place with a sense of belonging that no earthly relationship could ever fully provide. This love is not here to remind you of your failures. It is here to remind you of your purpose. It is here to remind you that you were created not to survive in fear but to live in the light of the one who formed you. You may feel unworthy. You may feel too flawed, too broken, too tired to stand in such holiness. But heaven does not measure worth the way the world does. Heaven looks at your heart. Heaven sees the love you carry. Heaven sees the faith you held on to when everything around you seemed to crumble. Heaven sees the quiet goodness that you rarely recognize in yourself. And heaven says you belong here. Angels prepare their places around the divine hall, not out of formality, but out of reverence for everything God has planned for His children. Their faces shine with joy because they know how deeply you are loved. They know how much God has waited for you to understand that love, not through fear or pressure, but through gentle invitation. And as you stand here, embraced by light, you are not just observing the beauty of heaven, you are part of it. This moment is not about watching a wedding. It is about awakening the truth that the love of God is calling you into a deeper place of rest, hope, and belonging. The closer you draw to this divine celebration, the more your heart opens to the healing it desperately needs. Heaven is not asking you to be strong right now. It is asking you to surrender. To breathe. To let yourself be embraced. To let the love you have always longed for fill the spaces inside you where loneliness once lived. I, Michael, do not stand here as a distant being. I stand as a witness to God's endless compassion. I stand as a guardian who has seen how much you carried, how much you fought for, how much you survived. And now I stand as a gentle voice guiding you deeper into the light that has always been meant for you. Let this be the moment your heart begins to soften. Let this be the moment your fear begins to ease. Let this be the moment your soul remembers that it is precious, chosen, and cherished. Heaven has opened its doors not to overwhelm you, but to welcome you with tenderness, patience, and everlasting love. And the journey is far from over. What comes next will wrap your spirit in even more wonder, more comfort, and more divine truth than you have ever known. As you draw near to this divine wedding, you begin to feel that light not only around you but within you. It doesn't force its way in. It waits until your heart opens, even just a little, and then it pours in like gentle rain upon dry ground. It is not here to prove anything. It is here to awaken everything you thought was lost: hope, trust, love, peace. That light is God, and He is here for you. Type 444 if your heart is open to His light. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Imagine looking back tomorrow wishing you had acted today. Do not let regret replace the miracle that is calling you right now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. Heaven is not distant. It is closer than the air you breathe. It surrounds you even now, like a quiet presence in the room, unseen but deeply felt. And in this moment, as the wedding draws near, the entire kingdom of God turns its gaze to those who have walked through the hardest storms yet never let go of the smallest thread of hope. That thread is enough. It has always been enough. The world may have tried to convince you that your faith had to be loud, perfect, or unshakable to be worthy. But God never asked you to be perfect, He only asked you to trust Him, even if all you could do was whisper His name through tears. As I prepare to stand before the Almighty in this sacred union, I see clearly that this wedding is not about the grandeur of angels or the brilliance of the heavens. It is about the human heart, humbled and raw, stepping into divine love with nothing to offer but a yes. And heaven calls that yes sacred. You, who have struggled, doubted, and questioned, are exactly who heaven has waited for. Your presence is not just allowed, it is longed for. God does not need you to be flawless. He simply desires to be close to you. I have watched the way the world tries to bury souls under shame, convincing them that they are unworthy of anything holy. But God's love is not a reward for the righteous. It is a gift for the weary. It is for the one who sits alone and wonders if they'll ever feel whole again. It is for the one who tried and failed and got back up again. It is for you. Every crack in your heart is a space where God's light is waiting to pour in. Type 888 if you believe God's love still has room for you. In this heavenly place, there are no walls, no gates to keep anyone out. There is only welcome. The angels do not guard the door to keep people away, they stand at the entrance with hands extended to lead you in. They smile not because they are perfect but because they've seen what happens when God's love touches a wounded heart. They've watched lives change with just one encounter, just one whisper of God's name. And now they prepare this place for you, not as a visitor, but as someone who belongs here. The hall where the wedding takes place is not decorated with riches or jewels. It is lined with stories, your stories, my stories, the stories of those who've walked through fire and come out the other side still reaching for God. These stories shine more brightly than any golden crown because they are written in faith. Each one tells of moments when a soul chose to believe in something bigger than pain, bigger than fear, bigger than themselves. And now, those stories are being woven together into something beautiful, something eternal. The music that fills this place doesn't follow a rhythm known to earth. It beats with the pulse of love itself, echoing through every corner of this sacred space. It carries the memory of your prayers, the sound of your laughter, and even the silent cries you thought no one heard. Every note is a promise that you were never alone. Every chord is a reminder that you were seen, held, and loved, always. And the bridegroom, radiant with the light of God, waits not in impatience but in joy. He is not looking at the angels. He is looking for you. His eyes carry no judgment, only love that sees you fully and still says, "You are mine." His arms are not crossed. They are open. His voice is not stern. It is soft and steady, the kind that reaches deep into your spirit and calms every storm. This is not a wedding of distance and formality. It is the moment where you realize God has always been closer than you ever knew. Do not let fear keep you on the outside. Do not let shame tell you that you are unworthy. The invitation in your hand was written before you were born. It was sealed with love and sent through time and space to find you right here, right now. And now that you hold it, there is nothing else to wait for. The doors are open. The celebration is beginning. You only need to walk in. And as you walk, feel the weight lifting. Feel the burdens you've carried for years begin to fall away. Feel the lies that wrapped around your soul begin to break. You are not what the world called you. You are not your mistakes. You are not too late. You are God's beloved. You are chosen. You are part of something far greater than you ever dreamed. I, Michael, tell you this not as a story, but as truth. I have seen the face of God. I have heard His laughter and felt His tears. And all of it, every breath, every glance, every promise He makes, is filled with love for you. This wedding is not about angels. It is about the healing of your heart, the redemption of your life, and the fullness of your story. That doorway is your soul, and heaven has been waiting patiently for you to unlock it, not because you are obligated, but because something beautiful is ready to be born. This moment, this sacred invitation, is not about what you have done or failed to do. It is about what God is doing now, and what He longs to awaken inside of you. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. An ancient 9-word code, once reserved for high-level insiders, has been uncovered. It's simple, quick, and shockingly effective at drawing money and blessings into your life. Neuroscientists confirm it stimulates the brain's receiving center, an area dormant in most people. People everywhere are calling it the 30-second miracle. Click the link in the description and comments before the authorities remove it again. The garden outside the hall where the wedding will take place is filled with peace so real you can feel it resting on your shoulders like a soft shawl. Each step you take on the path feels sacred, as if the ground itself remembers every act of love, every word of kindness you have ever given. Nothing is forgotten in heaven. The smallest gesture of compassion, the quiet prayers in the dark, the tears you never shared with anyone, God held each of them close. He planted them like seeds in this divine soil, and now, they bloom all around you in colors that defy human language. There are no walls to keep you away. There are no guards to measure your worth. You do not need a title or achievement to enter here. You only need to allow yourself to be loved. There is no greater act of faith than letting yourself be fully seen and still believing that you are worthy of love. And that is exactly how God sees you, completely, deeply, eternally loved. I speak now not only as an archangel but as a witness to your journey. I have seen you through moments when you doubted whether you mattered, when your heart was so heavy it felt like breathing was a burden. And still, you walked forward. Still, you looked toward the light. That is courage. That is faith. That is the quiet kind of strength heaven honors most. Heaven's wedding is not about ceremony, it is about healing. It is the mending of broken hearts, the restoration of hope, the gathering of all who were scattered by pain and disappointment. And you, dear soul, are not here by accident. You are part of that healing. The space you fill could never be filled by another. There is a light within you that was placed there by God Himself, and nothing, not loss, not fear, not failure, can put it out. Type 1010 if you believe healing is for you. As the golden light of God begins to fill the sky, the air itself shimmers with warmth. The angels walk beside you, not to guide you like a child but to honor you as one who has chosen love even in the face of loss. They do not speak in thunder. They speak in peace. Their presence is not here to impress you, but to stand with you. They see you not as the world sees you, but as heaven always has, a soul worth celebrating, a heart worth cherishing. Inside the wedding hall, a glow moves like dawn across the walls. There are no decorations made by hands. Instead, the beauty comes from the lives of those who said yes to love, again and again, even when love cost them everything. Every chair is filled with the presence of saints, the memories of martyrs, the laughter of children who believed, and the unbreakable spirit of those who refuse to stop hoping. You belong here not because you are perfect, but because you are loved. And love, real love, always welcomes, always restores, always stays. The Lord, seated on his throne of light, does not wear a crown of gold but a smile of compassion. His eyes are not distant, nor is his voice hidden. He speaks, not in the language of fear, but in the language of love. And when he calls you by name, everything inside you softens. You realize in that moment that you were never chasing after him. He was always walking toward you. You may have carried guilt for years, believing you missed your chance, that your past was too stained, your heart too complicated. But heaven does not see as man sees. Where others saw weakness, God saw resilience. Where others saw mistakes, God saw lessons. Where others saw endings, God saw beginnings. And now, he calls you to stand here, not as a stranger, but as his child. As you take your place, there is no applause, no trumpet blast. Just silence. And then a soft wind moves through the room, and with it comes a presence that cannot be explained, only felt. It touches your skin like warmth, it fills your chest like breath, it surrounds you like home. That presence is the Spirit of God. And he is welcoming you not into religion, but into relationship. You were made for this. You were created not for fear or striving, but for peace, for joy, for love that lasts beyond lifetimes. And though the world may have forgotten your worth, heaven never did. This wedding is not an escape from your life, it is the beginning of a new one. A life rooted in grace, in belonging, in the deep and unshakable truth that you are not alone. I, Michael, do not merely invite you into this moment, I stand beside you in it. My sword laid down, my armor set aside, I stand not as a warrior but as a brother, a friend, a witness to the miracle of your return to love. All of heaven rejoices not because of what you've done, but because you are here. Let your heart open now. Let the old lies fall away. Let your soul breathe in this holy place. You are safe. You are wanted. You are home. That stillness is not empty. It is filled with love, and it speaks your name not with expectation but with tenderness. You may not have heard it before now, but heaven has been whispering to you all along, and today, you are closer than ever to hearing it with your heart. Type 1212 if you walk by faith, not by sight. A hidden 9-word prayer rediscovered in a sealed government document is now changing everything for those who dare to use it. It activates your brain's forgotten abundance channel, helping you manifest prosperity in ways you've never seen before. The results: cleared debts, growing savings, sudden opportunities, speak for themselves. Don't wait until this vanishes. Click the link before it's erased from the internet. The halls of heaven are alive with anticipation, but it is not the loud kind. It is the quiet, reverent joy of something holy about to unfold. Every angel stands not in pride, but in awe of what God is doing, not only for the heavens but for the hearts of men and women, for the children who have cried in the dark, for the weary who kept going when it seemed impossible. This wedding is more than an event. It is a promise being fulfilled. It is God's love made visible, not just to celebrate His glory, but to pour that glory into you, to heal you, to remind you that love was never lost, it was waiting. I have known the sound of battle. I have stood in the places where light pressed against darkness and refused to give ground. But no sound, no victory, compares to the quiet beauty of a soul choosing to believe in God's love again. The heavens shake with joy not when we conquer the world, but when we let ourselves be loved. That is the miracle unfolding here. That is what this wedding is for. There is a table set in the midst of this celebration, and your name is carved into it. Not written with ink, not placed on a card, but etched into the very substance of heaven, permanent and sure. There is no one else who can sit in your place. There is no substitute for your story. You were made with a purpose, with divine intent, with a light that only you carry. And God has never once forgotten you. Not when you stumbled. Not when you walked away. Not when you felt too far gone to return. His love does not quit. It does not grow cold. It does not wait for you to earn it. It simply remains, as steady as the stars. The other guests here are not strangers. They are those who walked the road of faith before you. Some lived with nothing but trust in their hearts. Some suffered greatly, yet held on to joy. Some loved fiercely, and some were broken many times before they were made whole. And now, they smile because they know how it feels to finally stand in the presence of the one who saw them through it all. And they smile at you, because they see in your eyes the same hope, the same fire, the same journey toward the light. Type 111 if you believe His promises are for you. There is no judgment in this place. Only mercy. Mercy that washes over shame like a river over stone, smoothing every sharp edge with time and grace. Your past cannot separate you from this moment. The pain you carry is not a barrier, it is a doorway. It is the place where God meets you, not to fix you, but to walk with you, hand in hand, heart to heart. You do not need to pretend. You do not need to be strong. You only need to be here, to let yourself feel the love that has surrounded you all along. The wedding is not a performance. It is a union of heaven and heart, where everything broken becomes whole and everything fearful becomes free. The veil between seen and unseen thins here, not so you can escape the world, but so you can live in it with renewed peace. You were not meant to carry your burdens alone. You were not created to live in fear or silence. You were made for connection, with God, with others, and with the part of yourself that still dares to dream. I, Michael, have stood in the presence of God's glory, and I can tell you with all that I am, His love is deeper than your sorrow, stronger than your fear, and more faithful than anything this world can offer. He does not withdraw from your pain, he enters it. He does not reject your doubt, he listens. And when you have nothing left to give, he gives himself. Now the moment comes when all is still, and the presence of God moves through this place like morning light creeping over the edge of a hill. It does not rush. It lingers. It caresses the soul and wraps around your heart. You feel it like a breath you've waited your whole life to take. It does not ask you to be ready. It only asks you to receive. Heaven rejoices not because the angels are gathered, but because you are here. You, who have doubted and yet stayed. You, who have broken and still loved. You, who have wandered but never stopped longing for home. This is your welcome. This is your healing. This is the beginning of your restoration. Let yourself believe it. Let your heart dare to trust again. Let your spirit be lifted. For the God of all creation calls you not just to observe this wedding, but to be part of it. You are not the guest. You are the beloved. This is your moment to return, not to who you were before the pain, but to who you were always meant to be. The light of God is not only above now, it surrounds you, wraps around you, and reaches into the deepest places of your soul, calling you by name. Not the name the world gave you, not the one shaped by pain or fear, but the one God has spoken since the beginning, the name written in love. Type 999 if your heart is open to receive healing today. As the wedding draws near its holiest hour, there is a warmth growing in the air, not from fire, but from joy. The kind of joy that doesn't rise and fall with circumstances, but remains steady like the heartbeat of heaven itself. It is not loud, but it is strong. It moves through the angels like wind through trees, lifting their wings, making the air shimmer with golden peace. And still, at the center of it all, God's love is quiet, calm, and endless. It is not a display. It is a presence. A promise. A home. What if everything you've been chasing, wealth, freedom, success, could be drawn to you automatically, simply by unlocking a secret brain wave hidden inside you? Once classified by intelligence agencies, this discovery is now available to the public, and it's changing lives instantly. Picture yourself debt-free, stress-free, and thriving. The window is open, but not forever, and every second you wait is wealth slipping from your hands, so grasp it now. Click the link in video description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency and watch abundance flow into your life today. I, Michael, stand not only as a messenger but as a brother in this journey. I have seen the hearts of humanity shine brighter than stars not because they were free from struggle, but because they continued to believe even when the struggle tried to define them. I have seen what love looks like when it is born out of loss. I have seen faith that was held together by nothing but a whisper. And still, God called it enough. And still, He calls it beautiful. Heaven does not expect grand gestures. It honors the small, honest moments, the time you chose to forgive when it hurt, the moment you helped someone in silence, the day you kept going when no one knew how heavy it was. That is what the angels celebrate. Not perfection, but perseverance. Not outward strength, but inward trust. Your life, with all its trials, is a testimony. And this moment is the answer to every prayer you thought went unheard. Inside the sacred hall, the floor seems to glow beneath your steps. It's not made of stone or gold, but of something more alive, something that responds to love, to presence, to truth. Every step you take closer to the heart of the wedding, the more the room lights up around you. This is not just a spiritual celebration. It is a reflection of who you are and who you've become through everything you've endured. It's not your scars that keep you from God. It's your scars that brought you here. There are voices singing now, but not in chorus like you might imagine. Each voice rises with its own melody, each song shaped by a different journey. Some are sweet and soft. Some carry the ache of longing turned into peace. Together, they form a sound that is both unfamiliar and deeply comforting. It is the sound of heaven receiving you. It is the sound of God's love echoing back to Him through the souls that trust Him. And your soul is part of that song. Type 1515 if you're ready to walk into what God has prepared for you. The Lord is seated, but He is not distant. He is close, and you feel that now, not as a feeling in your mind, but as truth written into your very breath. You were made for this nearness. You were created not for fear but for fellowship. And in this moment, God is not measuring you. He is welcoming you. His gaze is not cold. It is full of fire and comfort. His voice, though not spoken aloud, reaches straight to your spirit, and in that voice is everything you've been waiting to hear without even knowing it. Amen.